Murder in the morning from the Hidden Killers podcast.
I don't even know where to begin with this story. It angers me. It pisses me off. It makes me cringe. A man in North Carolina is accused of killing a dog by slashing her throat in a random attack while the owner was playing pickleball. It's Stacey Cole and Carol Hughes. Carol, I'm kind of sorry that I selected this story for us to do, actually.
Like, we talk about so many horrific stories, and I can't watch, and I watch the Datelines, like, I've watched so many murder things over the years, but my God, as soon as I start talking about the dog died, I can't.
I know.
And so this story, and this one makes no sense. There's no reason for it.
No, I can, we've seen in the news, there's a lot of stories lately about dog is attacking you and you defend yourself. But this story is nothing like that. A man in North Carolina has been arrested, thank God, after allegedly randomly attacking and fatally stabbing a dog in a park. The incident occurred while the dog was tied in the shade, sleeping near pickleball courts while its owner was playing. The man approached the dog, grabbed it by the throat, and began slashing it with a knife.
That's the part I can't hear. Oh,
I know.
Oh.
I know. And I've spent the last 7 years of my life working in the veterinary industry, and this story just, I almost have to put it out of my head and not think about it because I will get so emotional it won't even be funny. This is a mixed breed female Chihuahua named Beignet. She's 11. She was 11 years old, 35 pounds. I've known there are two kinds of Chihuahuas. There's the lovely kind, and then there's the, oh my God, it wants to kill me kind. But, and I'm not kidding. But it doesn't matter. This dog was sleeping. I don't care which kind of Chihuahua it was sleeping and just hanging out. The owner probably thought my dog would love to be at the park. I'm going to go play.
And my guess is
the dog would love it.
My guess is this, they did this frequently. Went to the park, played pickleball, and the dog got to go and hang out.
Probably. Yeah. The owner says she was lying peacefully in the shade. She was tied up with a very long leash. Then my pickleball partner said, someone's beating your dog. The owner said, my 3 children, husband, and I are devastated. This happened in broad daylight. My fellow players were just a few feet away, which apparently didn't scare off the assailant. The suspect, James Wesley Henry, is facing a felony animal cruelty charge. He's currently being held at a detention facility. The dog's devastated owners expressed their shock and heartbreak. One witness recounted the horrifying scene, saying, I can't get the image out of my head.
Oh my God, you would never be able to get that out of your head.
No, I saw when I worked at the clinic as a vet tech, we had a dog that came in with gunshot wounds. The sheriff's deputies had performed a search warrant, and the dog lunged at one of the officers when they came in. So he shot him. And there was blood everywhere. That's an image I've never gotten out of my head. The officer, I don't fault him. He did what he had to do. The dog was going to attack him, and it was a big dog. It was the kind of dog that people discriminate against. It was a pit bull. So yeah, I mean, he feared for his life. And some of that, I don't know if it's, we're profiling certain breeds, that kind of thing. We could get into that whole discussion. But it was horrific to see. And I just can't imagine why this person, did he walk out of his home that morning and say, I'm going to kill something, and he just happened to see the dog? He's walking around with a knife.
It almost makes me think, and I have no idea who this person is, but when I read the story, it made me think of homeless and mental illness.
Yes.
Like, this person isn't right. And so it just makes me think there was a mental illness, and the person just, for who knows, it could be schizophrenia, and all of a sudden they're seeing something that's totally not real life, and they've got to attack this dog because this dog's going to attack them, or whatever it might be.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure, we are dealing with mental illness. I can't imagine anybody in their right mind who would attack a 35-pound dog that's lying there sleeping. I'm looking at pictures of this dog. Please don't look it up. This dog is beautiful. Oh my God, my heart is just breaking looking at this dog. There's nothing about this dog that would indicate it's vicious. It looks like a little tiny teddy bear.
And like I said, I just bet that's something she did frequently. I love playing pickleball. I think it's super fun. And at the park, why not take your dog? Your dog's right there, not hurting anybody, on a leash.
Carol, you nailed it. Other players heard the man in the park acting erratically and shouting to himself. I'm pretty sure he was having a mental health crisis. People in the park said that he was talking to himself and yelling erratically, but they did leave him alone just because he wasn't harming anybody at the time. What do we do in our society? What do we do?
I don't know. I was thinking about that just recently because, and I see this frequently, but there was a guy, and I don't know what's happened to him. I haven't seen him for a while, but he would stand on the street corners just yelling.
Yeah.
And he's yelling at something, at someone. There's nobody around. And I know he's homeless, but I don't know how you do help him. And, it's certainly way out of my ability. And I don't know what you do as a bystander, how you can't approach him really because you don't know. Is it safe to approach him? I don't know. And it's not like you can reason with him or anything at that point because he's so outside of reality. I don't know. That's really sad. And then something like this ends up happening.
Yeah, it's just tragic. And in my community, we've got somebody who used to stand outside of a glass replacement, like a windshield replacement place. And he would just stand on the corner and just yell things about the government. And he would be out there when it's, 20 below zero. And that just tells you, hey, first of all, nobody's listening to you. We're all in cars. Our windows are up. Nobody can hear you. Who are you talking to? But I think we need to do more for the mentally ill and people who are having these crises because the rest of us are at risk as well.
Mm-hmm.
So something needs to be done.
And I just don't know what that is. That's a hard thing to figure out.
It really is. I have no idea either.
You're locked into the Hidden Killers podcast.
Want more? Start binging on all of our true crime podcasts right now through Apple Podcasts and get an ad-free experience when you sign up to be a True Crime Today Premium Plus member exclusively on Apple Podcasts.
More of the Hidden Killers podcast dropping soon.
Press subscribe now.